Oh, 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 wrong. Wrong live stream. Okay guys. Finally ada benda nak dicakap. Oh, akhirnya. Lama tak stream pasal apa? Practice Savage Final Fantasy. Time practice Savage tak boleh nak stream pasal takut apa? Internet terganggu nanti performance dekat apa? Dekat apa? Rate terganggu nanti. So yeah, finally kita ada apa? Kita ada benda nak cakap. Actually benda yang aku memang betul-betul berminat lah, orang kata. Bukan sekadar orang kata apa, orang kata buah-buah kosong kan. Actually benda yang memang dalam bidang aku lah. Yang kalau korang tahu hari ni AMD ada, orang kata apa, ada macam presentation ke apa sebenarnya, macam mana korang nak panggil. Basically macam finally kita dapat real news of AMD 7000 series kan. 6000 series dah launch lah. Kalau korang perhatikan dekat laptop memang dah ada 6000 series. Tapi okay, macam sebelum ni kalau korang tahu 4000 series hanya ada kat laptop. Lepas tu tak lama lepas tu 4000 series AMD ada dekat OEM. Lepas tu processor tu diorang jual macam standalone tau. Dekat kedai aku ada Ryzen 5 4500 kan. So probably mungkin 6000 series jadi macam gitu ke. Maksudnya kat laptop dulu nanti dah lama-lama sikit nanti diorang keluarkan 6000 series dekat apa, dekat PC. Tak tahu awak maklam orang kata. Tapi sekarang ni, hari ni kita dah dapat info terhadap apa, motherboard chipset X670 dengan 670E dengan B650. So aku dah prepare. So aku dah tengok sikit benda ni. So yeah, let's go. Kalau kau ada pertanyaan terhadap prosesor atau apa-apa semua benda berkaitan dengan PC, kau boleh terus tanya, tak ada masalah. So let's go. Hari ni kita start Adam Talk bezel sikit. Aku dah prepare video. So kau boleh tengok sekali kalau kau nak tengok sekali. Aku mungkin cepatkan kalau benda yang aku rasa aku dah tahu ataupun tak penting, aku akan cepatkan. So Computex.
Audiences from all over the world, welcome to Computex 2022. After 2 years of pandemics, our lives have changed dramatically in every aspect, for work, study, entertainment, and especially
walaupun dah delay benda ni lama sangat kot.
Computex 2022, hosted by Titra, will continue hybrid this year. Our hybrid activities
maksudnya macam tak ada kena-mengena
and online exhibitions anticipate I have the of aim and effectively
tengok apa Dr. Lisa Su.
the product occasion that Dr. Lisa Su delivers.
Yes,
keynote
Lisa Su.
Computex. She will share AMD vision to advance the PC experience through next generation.
Excited pasal kalau tak kerana AMD PC apa building arena tak seseronok macam ni. Dia kalau benda ni berat sebelah, benda jadi bosan. Tapi kalau benda fight baru jadi best. Aku buat actually pakai first processor AMD bila 5000 series keluar itu. Pakai Ryzen 5 apa? 5800 ah. Yay, Lisa Su. Welcome. Computex Taipei.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us today. I also want to thank Titra for the invitation to keynote Computex 2022, and Chairman Wang for the very kind introduction. Every year I look forward to Computex as the opportunity for our industry to gather in Taiwan and highlight the deep partnerships throughout the ecosystem and our work together to shape the future. From system design and manufacturing to motherboards, graphics cards, and other critical components like memory and storage, our partners in Taiwan play a critical role.
Aku apa, sekejap. Aku betul-betul berharap yang AMD punya apa 7000 series punya graphic card betul-betul bagus tu. Oh, kalau ada masalah driver macam apa yang diorang ada sekarang, graphic card diorang bagus, orang kata tak. Tapi dari segi ray tracing dengan deep learning super sampling, diorang tak berapa, orang kata yelah tu bukan benda yang diorang start, orang kata tu Nvidia punya start. So kalau AMD boleh beat apa Nvidia RTX 4000 series punya performance dengan extra benda yang graphic card tu bawa, cara tracing, deep learning, super sampling dan sebagainya. So bagus lah orang kata. Pasal so far sekarang performance 6950 XT tanpa ray tracing, just orang kata standard rasterization, memang AMD menang pun. Lepas tu AMD kalau kau padankan dengan graphic card dengan prosesor 5000 series, graphic card 6000 series dengan prosesor 5000 series, kau boleh buka smart access memory untuk dapatkan lagi performance game kau 50% lagi.
This is the most exciting time for the semiconductor industry. Whether you're talking about cloud, supercomputing, 5G,
harga bahan mentah dah naik.
or intelligent end
Inflation lagi.
devices,
Agak berapa
high-performance
harga
adaptive
7000 series ni?
computing solutions
Motherboard dia
are
lagi.
playing a larger and larger role in every aspect of our daily lives. And we see this trend only accelerating in the coming years. We recently closed our acquisition of Xilinx, the largest semiconductor transaction in history. And AMD now has the broadest portfolio of leadership compute engines in the industry, building on our high-performance CPUs and GPUs with the industry-leading FPGAs and adaptive SoCs. Now, AMD is all about pushing the
Yeah.
envelope on technology.
AMD is everywhere.
Wherever our partners have a need for more computing capability, you will find AMD. And you can see our products and technologies everywhere, from PCs to game consoles, smartphones, the
Betul.
cloud, and now industrial and telecom as well.
Aku tak boleh belah orang kata macam apa? AMD apa? Saya tak minat AMD abang. Tapi PS4 lah saya. PS5, Xbox, Steam Deck semua pakai AMD punya ni barang. Macam mana?
Today, though, is all about our next generation of PC products for gamers, creators, and enthusiasts. Now, as we've seen over the last several years, the PC has never been a more essential part of how we live, work, and play. With 349 million PCs shipped in 2021 and more than 900 million shipped in the
juta
last
PC.
3 years.
Pandemik
At
ni
AMD,
memaksa
we're
orang
all about building the best.
beli PC, beli laptop.
Today, we're going to focus on the best in PCs, including new leadership ultra-thin commercial and gaming notebooks, and new details on our next-generation Ryzen desktop processors and platforms. Let's start with the latest in ultra-thin notebooks powered by our Ryzen 6000 processors. Here's Jason Banta, General Manager of our OEM PC business.
Thank you, Lisa. At CES
Tambah
earlier
pembina
this year,
OEM.
we brought you the incredible Ryzen 6000 Mobile, powered by the Zen 3 Plus CPU core,
OEM PC lah.
RDNA
Kalau OEM
graphics,
laptop kalau
and
benda lain
6
okey.
nanometer TSMC technology. Ryzen 6000 also brought an entirely new notebook platform, delivering DDR5, PCIe Gen 4, and USB 4.
DDR5 ni tak widely available lagi ya. Kalau ada pun harga tinggi.
Performance per watt, battery life,
Dia belum
and
matang ni pada aku
graphics
DDR5.
performance in Windows 11.
Memang dia lah baru
The
keluar,
initial
belum matang ni.
reviews
Macam awal-awal
are a
DDR4 keluar.
resounding reflection that we delivered on our promises. The Asus G14 was consistently
So for the
awarded
G14
for its
memang best lah.
combination of gaming performance, innovative form factor, and exceptional battery life.
Yes.
And
Battery life kat
72
laptop tu penting je.
Ryzen 6000 based systems have either launched or been announced to date. But our Ryzen 6000 portfolio is only just beginning. Ryzen 6000 will establish leadership
Wait,
in additional
ini kan
segments,
first DDR5. Tak.
including
DDR5 Intel kalahkan AMD dalam hal ni. DDR5 dengan PCIe Gen 5 kan. Intel launch dulu kan, sadly. Intel orang kata memang tak sabar nak apa. Tak sabar nak kalahkan AMD. Intel macam yeah. I mean AMD yes. AMD ni first lah DDR5. Tapi dengan cerita macam tak ada option untuk DDR4 tau. Macam Intel dia bagi option untuk DDR5 dengan DDR4. Tapi AMD tak ada umumkan DDR4. So basically semua all in untuk DDR5.
enterprise notebooks.
Tapi AMD buat satu benda
Our
yang
goal
Intel tak boleh
with
buat.
Ryzen 6000 Ultra-Thin
Betul tak?
is to partner on
Nanti kau
notebooks
tengok
that
apa
are
yang dia
ready
orang
to
buat.
work, create,
Yeah.
collaborate, and even game on the go. Just like our gaming notebooks, we want our ultra-thins to offer the perfect balance between performance and mobility.
Tapi pada aku lah,
The
daripada
incredible
ambil
efficiency
untuk
delivered by
untuk
Zen 3
laptop lah,
Plus,
daripada kau ambil
our
Intel
U-series
12 gen yang
processors
makan power gila
enable some
babi
of the
110 watt
lightest, highest
dengan
performing
6000 series,
multi-mobile
better
PCs
kau main
in the
6000
market,
series
outperforming our
RDNA 2
competition's
dekat
PCs. By combining our
Dekat
RDNA 2
laptop
graphics core,
AMD yang pakai 6000 series tu boleh main game full HD je.
we can enable new experiences
Low
on
setting
the
lah tapi
thinnest
boleh
systems
main lah tanpa
on the
graphic
market
card boleh main je.
The recently launched ZenBook 13
Kau bayangkan ZenBook laptop kerja
14.9 millimeters thick and weighs only 2.2 pounds.
orang kaya je beli ZenBook ni, aku panggil laptop untuk bawa naik kapal terbang.
Can easily run Godfall 1080p at over 60 frames per second.
Godfall tu dengan fidelity. Imba tu. RDNA tu pada aku imba gila. Tak perlukan graphic card tapi performa macam 1050 Ti.
We partnered with PC OEMs on some of the most exciting premium ultra-thin notebooks launched
Imba.
this year. Now in the commercial segment,
Bayangkan kalau handphone ada RDNA 2 atau RDNA 3 ni. Game-game mobile semua dah berkecai lah.
The way we work and communicate has fundamentally changed in the past few years. The amount of time spent on video collaboration has more than doubled in the past year. Over 70%
Siapa lah pakai Microsoft Team tu?
want flexibility
Aku guna
between
Microsoft
office
paksa.
and remote.
Microsoft Team.
The average system
Windows 11 apa?
Aduh,
bodoh gila.
workers ill-equipped for this transition to hybrid. Our innovative partner platforms based on
Ambil lah
Ryzen
in
6000
laptop
deliver
pada
on
aku
the full
winner
set
memang jelas
of
lah, memang
hybrid
AMD
workforce
lah.
needs.
Aku lebih rela pilih
Exclusive
AMD
platforms
6000 series
like the
daripada
all-new ThinkPad Z
Intel
series
12 Gen.
and the award-winning EliteBook line seamlessly blend collaboration, productivity, and mobility.
More core, more power.
Over 60 commercial
less power
notebooks will
consumption.
launch this year based on Ryzen, an increase of over 25% year on year. Ryzen Pro has become synonymous with performance on productivity applications. The latest Ryzen Pro commercial notebooks
Tapi kalau kau buat kerja sebenarnya
outperform
actually mana-mana
competitive
kalau kau buat
processors
paperwork je
by
mana-mana
up to
laptop pun okey
17%
sebenarnya.
on combined
Tengok budget
Microsoft
lah.
Office and Teams productivity. The
Kau nak
efficiency optimization
buat Excel pakai
enables
8 core
continuous
processor buat apa
collaboration
Excel.
from the office,
Actually tak
coffee
perlu
shop,
kan.
or the
Tapi
couch.
lah ada orang dia multitasking kan, orang
Ryzen
kata
6000
buat kerja sambil dengar
delivers
lagu lah, buka
45%
itulah, buka
battery
inilah.
life advantage
Tengok
on
itulah, tengok
Microsoft
ini lah.
Teams
So berat lah orang ambil
compared to
laptop.
notebooks
Tu
powered by
45%.
a
Pada aku ni benda
durable,
imbang gila. Pasal
competitive mobile processor.
kudus lah AMD.
Ryzen 6000 Pro has
Baca
also
apa?
taken the commercial battery life crown based
Baca.
on
Cari kod.
third-party analysis. The HP EliteBook 865
26 jam kan.
ranks as the #1 laptop in the world on the Mobile Mark 2018 benchmark.
Dulu laptop
with
nak sampai 11 jam.
26.1
11-20 jam pun
of max
tergencet.
usage battery life. While Ryzen is known for premium notebooks, we want to ensure that the modern mainstream market experiences Ryzen innovations as well.
Tapi aku tak tahu lah. Rakyat Malaysia ni
Millions of people
memang betul-betul
have found
ketinggalan.
their way
Dengar
back to
AMD
the
je
PC.
takut.
It has become an everyday device.
AMD bukan panas ke bang?
But
Dia
most
tak tahu sekarang
mainstream
Intel lagi
notebooks
panas daripada
are
AMD.
not ready to deliver a full-featured, responsive Windows 11 or Chromebook experience.
Gaming on Chromebook.
Today, we are announcing a new APU codenamed
Bodoh tu lah.
Mendocino that will launch in the second half of this year. Mendocino is ideal for do-it-all Windows 11 notebooks and Chromebooks between $399 and $599 US. Built on the same low-power, high-performance 6nm technology
Mendocino
as
nama.
our award-winning
Nama
Ryzen
macam raja
6000
Final Fantasy.
product family, Mendocino offers up to a quad-core, 8-thread Zen 2 CPU, true RDNA 2 graphics, LPDDR5 memory, and cutting-edge video codec.
Habis lepas ni
to
Chromebook
enable
dah boleh main
seamless
game.
collaboration across Zoom, Teams, and Google Meet.
Game PC.
The number of systems announced using Ryzen continues to grow rapidly. Over 72 Ryzen 6000 notebooks have been announced by OEMs thus far in 2022, and the options will continue to grow
Tu
throughout the year.
harga 6000 series tak adalah mahal sangat
Ryzen mobile
compare to
portfolio includes
apa
50 gaming systems,
5000
90
series.
ultra-thin systems,
Dia beza-beza
and
dalam
60
400
commercial
300 je
systems
kalau semua benda
shipping
sama.
during this year.
Yay, arigato chan.
This
Thank you.
portfolio brings more options to enjoy the superior performance, exceptional mobility, and captivating experiences delivered by Ryzen. Now let me hand it off to Frank Azor to talk to you about the latest on AMD Advantage.
No, I think you should lambat sikit tadi.
Thanks, Jason.
10.5 bos tak?
Imagine a gaming computer where every core component is designed to work seamlessly with one another, where every performance and efficiency metric is optimized in the CPU and GPU since their inception
Zen 4.
for the purpose of delivering to you the absolute best computing experience technologically possible. That is
Habis lah, macam mana
future
Intel nak lawan ni?
gaming at AMD. About a year
Intel
ago,
akan jadi
Computex
Apple baru dia
announced
boleh
the
menang.
AMD Advantage framework. These solutions feature AMD high-performance components, including our family of exclusive smart technologies.
Abang
AMD
botak,
Advantage
abang
laptops are
botak di
developed to
tengah
follow
jalan.
stringent design guidelines and
Oi, izin
process.
Firefox? Tak,
Offer
Firefox ni
systems
hanya
with
untuk stream je.
state-of-the-art
Browser
performance,
untuk stream je.
beautiful high
Google Chrome
refresh
mesti
rate
pakai.
displays,
Tapi
fast
Google
load
Chrome untuk
times,
pribadi.
great battery life, and so much more. Our mission with AMD Advantage systems is to raise the bar of what defines the industry's best gaming laptops. And it starts with our smart technologies, where AMD CPUs and GPUs work cohesively together to help eliminate system bottlenecks with
Okay,
technologies like
smart access memory ni memang best lah.
At the same
Tapi
time, deliver
aku masalah smart access memory ni dia wajib 5000 series dengan 6000 series. 6000 series punya 5000 series CPU dengan 6000 series graphic card baru kau boleh on smart access memory ni. Tapi tak semua game boleh benefit daripada smart access memory ni, betul? Okay, tu pada aku paling best lah.
power where and when it's needed most with Smart Shift.
Smart shift
AMD
aku
Smart
tak berapa
Access Graphics
pemilih
intelligently
sangat.
optimizes your system for maximum performance.
Tapi basically benda-benda ni semua dekat PS5. Ya, pasal PS5 pun AMD punya barang kan. Konsol dah buat benda ni lama lah.
And efficiency. And for delivering outstanding gaming on battery sessions, we've created Smart Shift Eco. Today, I'm excited to announce our next smart technology.
Yang ni aku paling
Smart
suka lah.
Access Storage gets you out of the load screen and into your gameplay faster than ever. Traditional game loading takes a significant amount of compute power to do.
Okay, benda yang paling best pasal smart access storage ni kan, macam ada function same is the same thing as lebih kurang lah, tapi cara dia menterjemahkan benda tu agak berbeza sikit. Tapi generally speaking boleh katakan macam lebih kurang lah, orang kata. Tapi orang kata apa, pasal prosesor Intel tak bekerja macam dengan prosesor AMD, so smart access memory boleh tarik memori lagi besar. Pasal kalau kau study macam mana cara prosesor AMD dengan Intel berfikir kan, cara AMD multitasking dalam tarik dia punya apa, orang kata matrix tu berbeza. So sebab tu yelah, API dia boleh export. Pasal benda ni konsol dah pakai dah benda ni lama. Tapi smart direct storage ni kata Windows 11 nak support, tapi walaupun Windows 11 support akan datang apa semua benda, tapi tak, so far tak semua game, literally zero game yang benefit, zero game yang dicipta nak menggunakan, yang game PC lah yang dicipta untuk menggunakan smart direct storage punya function ni. Tapi kalau dapat buat memang imbang lah, pasal kalau game tu buat kau tengok jadi macam game PS5 loading terlalu laju sampai terpaksa slow kan benda tu. Lepas ni tak adalah kita jalan dekat tepi dinding actually tu loading screen kan, kalau kau tahu. Sikit-sikit jalan sikit selak. Kalau main Lara Croft kan selak, mengangkat punya bontot, aduh. Orang kata Allah. Ya, kita sambung.
Compress the game's data, requiring the CPU to do the decompression and data transfer, which introduces latency and takes up considerable system resources. To help bypass these bottlenecks, AMD's created Smart Access Storage, a suite of technologies supporting Microsoft Direct Storage that utilizes Smart Access memory along with new AMD platform technologies and Radeon GPU asset decompression to improve both game load times and texture.
Maknanya aku feel kat sini kan, kalau kau gabungkan tiga-tiga benda tu, tiga-tiga AMD punya processor, AMD punya GPU dengan Smart Access tu kan, Smart Access SAM, Smart Access memory dengan Smart Access storage dengan ni, dengan graphic card 7000 siri, kalau ada game yang betul-betul manfaatkan benda tu, confirm best gila. Kau keluar masuk game, buka game semua lagi. Lepas tu PCIe Gen 5.
We're so excited about
Tapi harga Gen 4 pun dah tercerit. Tak lagi harga Gen 5.
for more news on Smart Access Storage in the coming months.
Aduh.
Now,
Kalau
let's talk about some of the
dia
awesome
cakap in the
AMD
coming months lah,
Advantage
maksudnya
laptops we have coming to market.
lama lagi
Built
lah.
with the latest Ryzen 6000 series processors, the latest Radeon 6000M and S series graphics, and AMD's smart technologies. As Jason mentioned earlier, the first AMD Advantage solution we launched this year was a 14-inch ROG Zephyrus G14. At only 18.5 millimeters thin, it's quickly become one of the industry's
Zephyrus,
favorite.
aku bukan cakap apa, tapi laptop Zephyrus G14 ni dah makin lama makin menjadi laptop favourite aku lah. Aku tak adalah, aku tak guna laptop ni day to day orang kata, tapi tengok apa saya ni take pening fikir. Tak payahlah, orang biasa kau akan pakai PCIe Gen 3 tu juga, kau akan beli SSD Gen 3 tu, pasal tu je yang kau mampu. Tu je kita mampu tu. Tak beli, tak payahlah orang kata PCIe Gen 4 PCIe Gen 4 pun orang tak beli kat kedai. Aku kat kedai tu aku tengok orang nak beli PCIe Gen 4 pun orang terfikir 2-3 kali tu. Tak payah. Okay, kalau kau guna AMD dan kau just main game je, tak simpan data banyak sangat kan, kau on lah store MI tu. Maksudnya kau gabungkan SSD kau dengan hard disk kau jadi satu. Lepas tu dapat benefit. So kau boleh simpan 4 TV hard disk game, tapi loading macam loading SSD. Laju gila. Tapi masalah dia, ramai orang cakap store MI tu dia, bila dia scramblekan data kau dengan cache kau dekat SSD, ada peluang di mana data kau senang korap lah. Orang kata pasal laju sangat benda tu pergi tu, dia korap lah sama macam tu kan. So orang tak berani ambil risiko. Tapi kalau kau just sekadar main game, kau download balik lah game pun masalah. We need no loading. Tak payah lah FF kalau tak ada loading. I pakai Gen 4. Untung lah pakai Gen 4. Untung lah orang T20. Abang B40 je. Yeah, AMD Intel baru Gen 5 lah. Yep. Kesian Gen 4. Gen 4 dalam 2 tahun 2 tahun setengah je. Aduh.
Favorite gaming laptops. The system's already available at most retailers and e-tailers worldwide for you to experience yourself. So go check it out.
Pada aku dapat pakai NVMe pun dah okey. Sebenarnya dalam daily usage kita tak gunakan speed. Betul. So tak nak worry lah NVMe Gen 5. Okey. Kalau sekadar penggunaan biasa, korang tak benefit data dan speed transfer loading berapa second. Sebelum ni kalau kau pakai hard disk, kau loading, kau boleh buat air, kau boleh buat Nescafe kat dapur, masuk balik power PC kau buka. SSD kau buka, kau tunggu rehat sejukkan badan, PC dah menyala dah orang kata kan. Tapi hanya orang yang betul-betul transfer data ataupun perlu, orang yang sensitif, orang yang buat heavy duty lah, buat video editing, rendering, designing apa semua, kau benefit lah Gen 4 punya read speed tu semua, loading tu dan sebagainya orang kata kan. So Gen 5 ni sebagai nama orang kata, laju memang laju, technically dia laju, tapi kau tahu tak, aku punya kipas untuk SSD Gen 4 tu, kalau panas dia pusing kan, tak pernah pusing bro, tak pernah pusing. Tu untuk orang biasa. Mungkin orang yang luar biasa je lah, mungkin benda tu pusing lah. Tapi yes, as long as sekarang ni apa yang kita kena educate orang ramai adalah at least gunakan window kau dekat NVMe. Okay, kau beli 256 NVMe pun cukup. Lepas tu SSD SATA pun okey lagi. Okay, tapi kesian orang-orang yang kena kencing. Diorang bagi SSD SATA je. Janganlah, motherboard tu ada M.2, bagilah SSD M.2 kat situ. Orang kata, bagi je SSD M.2, lepas tu tambah hard disk. Tak apa kalau dia nak simpan data peribadi. Tapi kalau dia nak buat kerja berat, tambah lagi. Baru tambah SSD SATA. Okay. Kecuali kalau Intel lah. Intel cucuk SSD M.2, SATA port tu ada je yang mati. Kalau cucuk sini PCIe lane, PCIe ni mati. Geram aku dengan Intel. Orang kata, aduh, buat apa letak PCIe lane banyak-banyak. Kalau ambil satu, dia akan take satu. Buat display benda tu.
For gamers looking for a desktop-like experience in a gaming laptop, the Alienware M17
yang aku rant pasal Intel lah kan. Yang ini kita nak tengok
on a beautiful
AMD
17-inch low blue light emitting display with up to 500
Okay, personally tak disangka lagi memang apa Alienware X17 ni M17 lah ya. X17 memang the best laptop money can buy orang kata. Main harga 20,000 kalau otak dia.
And refresh rates up to 4K at 120 Hz. Lenovo recently announced the Legion Slim 7.
Apa sih?
AMD Advantage laptop
Pakai SSD je. Mampu beli 7000 series
that's just
HDD. Kau ajar gila.
The system features powerful and efficient AMD processors and graphics and a massive battery capacity of 12.
Aku kata antara cita-cita aku one day kalau dapat dipanggil jadi presentation aku
100 watt
akan
hours.
atas. Hari ni saya
So
akan
much
umumkan
performance and battery in such a thin and
AMD
light form factor makes the system an
9696
incredible engineering
series.
achievement. For performance-demanding gamers, the new Lenovo Legion 7 AMD Advantage Edition gaming
Aku
laptop
memang tahu suka laptop
features
Lenovo, kau
new
jangan tanya aku kenapa.
WASD keys equipped with precise force sensor technology. This technology allows players to scale their
Boo,
input
Lenovo.
through different levels of pressure applied to their keyboard.
Nah, laptop dia
Imagine being
bagus
able
je.
to control
Tapi
the
aku tak
speed
minat
your
Lenovo.
character moves in-game based on how hard or soft you press on the WASD keys of your keyboard.
Bro, controller dah ada benda ni tu.
Technology literally adds
Ni
new
kau letak
dimensions to
literally
how you game.
sensitivity yang sama dekat keyboard.
MacBook and Origin are two of our first AMD Advantage system integrator designs. These systems will be available starting this summer on OriginPC.com and JD.com, and they'll come with the latest AMD Ryzen 6000 series processors and Radeon graphics, and will each be enabled with the family of AMD smart technologies.
Make sure in
For
Malay.
gamers who want to play unplugged, the new OMA
Boleh, abang nanti
16
jadi
by
Linus
HP is
Tactic
the
Malay
first
Linus
system to launch
Tactic
with
Malay.
AMD Smart Shift Eco enabled, giving you up to 60% longer gaming time on battery in a game like League of Legends at 1080p.
No.
This
No,
system
League of Legends. Dota. Saya tak ada.
also features Omen Tempest cooling technology, which keeps your system cool and quiet, along with an iSafe low blue light
60%
certified
longer tu
display.
pasal dia kalah game. Tu yang dia main game lama.
Finally, I'm excited to announce
Ah,
that
ini
this
pada
summer,
aku.
Corsair
Sekejap,
will be
pause.
launching their
Pause.
first ever
Okay.
for gaming and
Oh, Corsair punya laptop. First laptop. Oh, Corsair. Yeah. Yes. Corsair punya laptop. Cross rambut.
streaming laptop exclusively with AMD Advantage. The Corsair Voyager features the latest Ryzen processors and Radeon graphics. It's enabled with the entire family of smart technologies, and it features a 16-inch FreeSync Premium 240Hz WQHD Plus
Bila nak ada Chromebook. Buat apa dia beli? Kau beli Chromebook mahal-mahal. Harga dah sama harga laptop. Baik beli laptop.
display. Voyager is the first laptop ever designed to be a truly mobile streaming solution. It features an integrated 10-key streaming command center
Aku kan cakap apa?
powered by Elgato
Kata awak, kalau dulu kau beli laptop 20,000 pun, kamera dekat atas tu 720p. Bodoh gila. Aku bayar mahal kalau ROG tak ada kamera. Orang kata bodoh gila. Tapi lepas tu sekarang baru nak letak Full HD kamera dekat laptop wajar.
Elgato's popular Stream Deck software, and a 1080p high-fidelity webcam.
Boleh ni
powered by the Elgato
streamer kalau on the
integrated
go.
Camera Hub software,
Aku kalau jadi
allowing
streamer
you
on
to
the
do
go
things
aku
like
pakai
dialing
Corsair.
your field of
Confirm.
view or change video inputs, putting studio-level controls. at
Anak
your
kalau orang
fingertips.
sponsor.
Equipped with Corsair's DDR5 memory and smart technologies like Smart Shift Max, users can automatically unlock the full potential of this laptop, whether gaming or streaming. We're very excited to have Corsair Voyager join the award-winning AMD Advantage portfolio of laptops. Voyager is available this summer from Corsair and retail partners worldwide, including customizable versions from Origin PC. Thank you for your time today. Let me hand it back over to Lisa.
Customizable version kat Origin PC
Thank you, Frank and Jason. We're very excited about bringing together the power of Ryzen, Radeon, and AMD software to build the best.
Dulu kamera kat laptop kerja memang tak nampak kaki. Tak, pasal aku kalau kadang di laptop 20,000, 10,000, takkanlah tak boleh letak kamera Full HD. Betul-betul nak kat corner tapi nak duit gila babi. MSI punya GE 14,000, 16,000. Baru sekarang tahun ni punya versi Full HD, kau tahu tak? Sebelum ni 14,000, 15,000 versi 720p saja. Aduh, sikit darah tu kadang-kadang dia orang.
Best in ultra-thin commercial and gaming notebooks. Now, you all know that at AMD, we're always working on what's next. So let's close with a preview of what comes next for desktop PCs.
Yeah, this is it.
Today,
Okay.
tens of millions of gamers, creators, and PC enthusiasts use AMD Ryzen processors in the AM4 platform. AM4 motherboards were first introduced in 2016.
Okay, aku tak ada hari DNA belum lagi. AMD masa diorang umumkan Ryzen 1 dengan soket tu, diorang janji 5 tahun tau. And then disebabkan pandemik, benda tu cross. Nak masuk 7 tahun. Soket yang sama
Almost 6 years
support.
later, we've now
Tak,
shipped nearly
almost
70 million AM4 CPUs,
AM4
spanning
punya.
more than 125 unique processors, 5 different architectures, and 4 process technology nodes. Ecosystem support for AM4
Sampai 300, kau bayangkan sampai motherboard 300 series sekarang BIOS update boleh pakai 5000 series punya processor. Pak dia imbang gila.
has been amazing, with our partners introducing more than 500 unique AM4 motherboards. And AM4 is still going strong.
Ya, betul.
Just last month, we launched the Ryzen 7 5800 X3d, the
Pricing yang
world's
katanya
first desktop CPU
the
with
king
3D
of PC
stacked
gaming.
triplets. It plugs into existing AM4 motherboards and delivers an average 15% boost in gaming performance over the 5800X. This type of performance improvement has typically only been possible with the introduction of a new CPU architecture. And as the reviews have highlighted,
diorang just menang dengan tambah 3D catch untuk gaming.
if you want the best PC gaming processor today, it's the 5800 X3d in the AM4 platform.
So harga sama tu.
And when you
Harga
look at the numbers, compared to the best gaming processor from the competition, the 5800 X3d wins across a broad range of games.
Final Fantasy
It is
X7.
the world's fastest gaming CPU, and importantly, it delivers that leadership performance while using significantly less power. Now, while AM4 is a great platform that will continue for many years to come, building the best PCs is always about pushing the envelope.
Dan
And for
4.
AMD, we do this by combining our multi-generational CPU core roadmap with advanced manufacturing process nodes and leadership packaging technologies. Today, I'm really excited to share more about the next major step in our roadmap that extends our leadership in desktop PCs. Our next generation Ryzen 7000 desktop
7000 series.
CPUs combine our new Zen 4 core in 5nm process technology with the all-new socket AM5 platform to bring more performance, more features.
Dia senang je nak ingat. AM5 socket, Zen 4 7000 series. Dia macam Nvidia RTX Ray Tracing Gen 2 DLS generasi 3. Betul. Sepatutnya current gen dah tukar soket. Tapi disebabkan pandemik, diorang buat keputusan untuk hold soket ni untuk another year lah orang kata. And then itu pun lepas Intel kalahkan diorang. Dari segi performance, 2 tahun diorang bertahan kan. King of processor kan. So, bila Intel berjaya officially kalahkan diorang, margin. Tapi margin tak besar. Orang kata kan, ada setengah job yang pure computing unit 16 core 5950X tu lagi bermakna daripada i9 12 Gen K. Bukan KS lah. KS tu memang yang besi yang lagi buff lah orang kata kan. So, kebanyakan kerja 16 core processing computing unit tu lebih membantu kau lebih daripada ni. Tapi kalau kau just gaming atau like kerja, mungkin i5 12 Gen 600K tu lebih bermakna lah orang kata kan. Tapi, and then AMD buat keputusan, okay, kita basically dah orang kata dah kita dah menang 2 tahun, kita pun dah ambil untung selama 2 tahun ni orang kata kan. Yalah, Ryzen 5 awal-awal keluar 1,500 kan. Orang kata. So, sekarang ni masa untuk tukar soket masa untuk kembali ke LGA. Boundary array tak salah aku. So, pasal Threadripper pun pakai LGA kan. So, bagus lah diorang tukar soket. Tapi, diorang tukar soket, tapi cooler punya soket sama. Okay.
And more capability to desktop PCs. And it all starts with our Zen 4 core. We designed Zen 4 to deliver significant performance and performance per watt advances over our already
Dia penting, performance per
Zen
watt
3
tu
core.
penting. Pasal power rendah,
We doubled
performance
the
tinggi.
L2 cache to 1 megabyte per core for higher throughput. We've also increased the clock speeds on Zen 4 to run significantly above 5 gigahertz.
Okay, sebelum ni AMD tak pernah capai 5 GHz kan. Tahu lah, kau nak pakai lama tak tengok plugin IDM tu. Dan pada aku 6 Pico Eco tu pada aku tak bermakna. Kau kena pakai Windows 11 tau baru kau dapat benefit Pico Eco tu. Pasal Windows 11 dicipta daripada ground up untuk excuse me, untuk bagi tahu kat processor kau, okay, mana job yang E-core kena ambil, mana job yang P-core kena ambil. Dan kita tahu Windows 11 parai lagi kan. Dia okay, tapi banyak benda yang kau akan discover kenapa Windows 11 tu barai lah. Macam hari tu diorang discover security threat, security problem yang kau kena reinstall balik Windows kau. Good luck.
And with higher IPC and faster clock speeds.
Okay, sebelum ni 5 GHz, kalau kau tahu, Hertz kepada prosesor bukanlah menang semata-mata, bukanlah benda kayu ukur yang asalkan dia pergi 5 GHz dia penting. Kalau kau betul-betul macam aku kan hari-harian orang kata berhadapan dengan komputer, PC, laptop punya spek orang kata. So kau akan tahu yang sometimes base clock yang lebih tinggi lebih bermakna daripada kebolehan dia untuk pergi sejauh tu orang kata. Kalau dia boleh pergi up to 5 GHz pun tapi base clock dia rendah, lepas tu dengan lantunan AI punya overclocking, sekarang semua benda dah AI overclock orang kata, suka atau tak suka. So lantunannya pun bukannya pergi selalu pun orang kata. So base clock tu biasanya cerita gigahertz bukanlah semata-mata kayu ukur yang korang fikir untuk menilai sesuatu prosesor itu. Tapi sebelum ni AMD tak pernah capai 5 GHz, betul tak? Paling tinggi prosesor Ryzen 959 50 boleh capai 4.9 saja. Tapi dengan 4.9 tu pun laju. Macam aku punya sekarang prosesor ni, Ryzen 7 ni, aku limitkan dia dekat 4.5 GHz. 4.5 MHz orang kata. Dengan voltage aku letak 1.275 volt. Kan? So temperature PC aku time buat kerja macam ni, sampai kau tahu ni sekarang ni aku live stream ni dengan recording menggunakan CPU punya aku ni orang kata kan, software X264. So proses aku punya temperature sekarang 58, 59. Dengan literally under voltage kan proses aku. Tak payah. Kau zaman sekarang ni kau overclock guna Ryzen Master tu lagi bagus pada aku daripada masuk motherboard. Pasal anytime thing happen, PC kau press start, benda tu hilang balik dan kau boleh adjust ikut kesesuaian kau hari ni. Dan kau kalau katalah aku nak rendering video ni, nak perlukan power ni, aku kembali balik kepada default ataupun PBO. Tapi pada aku PBO kena buka, Precision Boost Overdrive kau kena buka. And then ikut keadaan apa yang berlaku, kau buat apa yang kau rasa sesuai.
We expect Zen 4 CPUs to deliver more than 15% higher single-threaded performance compared to the prior generation. We've also added instructions for hardware-accelerated AI workloads like neural networks and machine learning.
5950 tu aku rasa kau tak payah overclock lah. Padu.
As you can see, Ryzen 7000 CPUs include up to 2 core chiplets, each with 8 Zen 4 cores, built on an optimized version of TSMC's high-performance 5nm process technology. The larger chiplet is an all-new 6nm I/O die designed for Ryzen 7000.
5 nanometer
We added RDNA2 graphics, bringing integrated graphics capabilities into our Ryzen enthusiast.
Okay. Finally, processor AMD ada built-in grafik. Bukanlah orang kata diorang tak ada versi yang ada yang G punya tu, macam yang ada Radeon grafik. Maksud aku macam processor Intel kan, kalau kau beli K version ataupun non huruf punya version kan, diorang ada built-in grafik. Tujuan built-in grafik tu diperlukan supaya kau tahu kalau grafik kad kau problem ke, grafik kad kau rosak ke, kau nak buat diagnostik ke apa semua, kau tahu at least ada tak perlulah kau alamak kena beli grafik kad GT 710, 750 untuk kau pasang, untuk kau test dan sebagainya. Wow, stress kata tak untuk buat kerja tu. So bila processor tu ada Intel kan, orang kata kalau kau pakai F je lah kau akan menghadapi masalah yang sama. Tetapi sekarang ni at least dah ada RDNA 2 tu, kan, tak adalah kata orang kata kau boleh benda ni jadi gaming platform. Tapi maksud aku kalau sekiranya berlaku apa-apa, at least bolehlah processor tu keluarkan gambar, bolehlah kau buat kerja, bolehlah kau diagnose, bolehlah kau test kalau ada grafik kan kau driver error termati tiba-tiba orang kata, so ni apa semua at least ada. And then kau boleh lah try, orang kata at least orang yang mengidam nak main game mungkin boleh lah main game macam Intel lah, macam Intel yang non later. Intel kalau ada huruf F tak ada. Tak, yang APU tu series lain. Ya betul, APU tu series lain. Intel APU still ada macam kat PS5 dan sebagainya still ada. Tapi masa aku so far dia punya main menu diorang X series tak ada built-in grafik kat dalam. Sekarang ni ada. Orang kata sekarang ni orang kata at least ada lah. Kau tahu aku ajar orang senang je. AMD kalau ada huruf G, maksudnya G ada grafik G. Tapi bila G, diorang akan sacrificekan kau punya processor punya performance pasal diorang nak buat kalau korang tahu, so performance 5600G tak sama dengan 5600 biasa. Macam Intel i5F dengan i5 yang tak ada huruf, performance diorang lebih kurang, cuma beza tak ada grafik. Kenapa? Aku adalah orang kata mitos. Okay? Kenapa diorang letak F? Apa kena guna F dengan grafik? F tu maksudnya tak ada grafik tu lah. So, maksudnya bila kau buat kerja, tiba-tiba, alamak, fuck, tak ada grafik kat tu. So, F. So, tu huruf F. Okay. So, bila dia K, dia versi yang unlock lah. Versi yang kau boleh overclock. Itu yang kelakar. Intel, untuk overclock, kau kena beli versi K. Kemudian, untuk jaga lantunan, hertz dan motherboard tu, kau digalakkan beli motherboard Z. Betul tak? Z690, Z490, Z. Orang kata motherboard series Z. Jadi kalau kau pakai i5K, kau boleh je technically pakai 650, sorry. Tapi kau tak boleh nak push processor tu tinggi pasal kau tak pakai chipset Z. Kau faham tak maksud aku? So, macam AMD, semua processor dia boleh overclock. Kecuali yang terbaru Ryzen 5800 X3d. Yang itu diorang tak benarkan overclock pasal diorang letak L3 cache dekat atas. So diorang macam, oh kalau overclock ni berkecai benda dekat atas ni, orang kata panas dan dia punya kau pasal nak dia punya suhu tinggi, working temperature dia diorang turunkan. Tak silap aku. Lepas tu dia punya core voltage apa semua diorang turunkan. So yes, macam Intel kena K untuk overclock, AMD semua benda boleh overclock kecuali yang terbaru. Satu je processor so far kan, 5800X 3D tak boleh. Ni orang kata. Jadi betul lah AMD panas. AMD bukan panas. Kalau kau tahu processor, okay, kau tahu tak graphic card sekarang untuk kalau kau pakai 3070 Ti, 3070 Ti, 3080 kan, kadang temperature diorang cecah 110 degree. 110 degree tu panas tau. 110 degree tu mengarut. Tetapi itu adalah working temperature. 2060 aku working temperature dia selamat adalah 88. Tapi the moment naik 80 aku dah pasal panas sangat ni. Faham tak maksud aku? So orang kata, so sekarang ni bila AMD 7000 series ni ada built-in grafik, ia memudahkan. Dia win-win. Kau okay. Tapi kau tak boleh lah orang kata market benda tu untuk budget gaming orang kata. Bukan macam 5600G, 3400G, 3200G. Itu boleh lah orang kata orang yang nak main gaming budget. Orang kata nak main Valor. Bang saya nak main Valor je bang. So 3200G lah boleh lah orang kata. Tapi manusia ni kalau orang kata semua pada aku, okay, panas ni relatif betul tak? Pada orang tengok 80 tu dah panas lah pada dia. Pada orang tengok 100 baru panas. Tapi zaman sekarang ni bila dia masuk temperature panas yang dia tak boleh terima, katakanlah prosesor aku ni temperature, maximum temperature dia 90. The moment dia cecah 90, dia akan thermal throttle, betul tak? So, semua prosesor je tu. Kalau dulu, the moment dia cecah 90 atau cecah 100, dia terus shut down. Tu tipikal zaman dulu punya prosesor. Zaman sekarang punya prosesor tak nak. Orang sekarang mana boleh terima kalau PC kau tertutup tiba-tiba. So, itu yang thermal throttle punya konsep tu lagi prevalent dan lagi meluas lah penggunaan dia, orang kata. So yeah, akhirnya ada RDNA 2. Tapi kau kena tahu, RDNA 2 dengan Iris Xe ataupun Intel UHD, RDNA 2 lagi kuat built-in grafik dia. So so boleh lah like gaming, mobile gaming lah orang kata, untuk orang yang kata it's a win lah, it's a win. I see this as a complete win.
Desktop CPUs for the first time. And we've also made significant advances in power management and added support for the latest
orang yang jilat Intel, i9 pun orang terkejut kalau dengar. Aku banyak-banyak kena customer bang, saya nak i7. Kata i7 dekat laptop dengan i5 kat laptop, performance hanya beza 2 hingga 7% saja. Literally kau bazir RM1,000, RM2,000 untuk beli i5 ke i7, tapi Processor kau sama je orang kata. Performance dia yang kau akan dapat lebih kurang orang kata. Later kau beli, ada kata saya nak ZenBook i7. Saya tak nak i5. Aku nganja. Tak nak pula beli ZenBook i9 tak nak. Ada i9 selama ni. Tak tahu pun. Saya ingat i7 paling tinggi. Abang dulu pakai apa? Saya dulu pakai i7. i7 Gen 3. Abang tahu tak i7 Gen 3 lawan dengan i3 Gen 3, i3 Gen 10 lah. i3 Gen 10 tu lagi menang. Abang tahu tak? Lagi kuat. Saya ingat kan i7 yang power lah. Itulah misconception orang-orang kita.
Memory and I/O technologies like DDR5 and PCI Express 5. To tell you more about our new AM5 desktop platform, here's the general manager of our desktop business, David McAfee.
Yeah! X.
Thanks, Lisa. Beyond the processor itself, one of the most exciting aspects of this new product family is the transition to the AM5 platform ecosystem. As Lisa mentioned, AM4 was an incredible platform with longevity
processor aku
and
nanti masa aku upgrade ke
capability beyond what
7000
we
series.
even imagined it would be when it was first introduced. As we approached the design of AM5, our philosophy followed many of the same principles.
Dah tak pakai
We
sikat,
wanted
sekarang
to
rambut dah
create
tak
a
ada.
platform designed for flexibility and
Dia
built
sikat
for
kat
the
atas meja.
future. One that maximized the capability and performance of our processors, and one that incorporated modern I/O and
Aku dah jadi
interfaces
React
that
Andy ya
define
pula
the
kan.
next generation of enthusiast desktop PCs. To that end, our new AM5 platform will lead the industry in capability for the most demanding enthusiast PC builds. That starts with an all-new socket and a transition from
Aku harap soket ni
micro
bertahan lah
to an
5-6 tahun.
LGA socket to drive more power and greater
Macam
signal
Intel kalau boleh
integrity
tiap tahun nak tukar
all of
soket.
those high-speed IOs. Pair that with an expansion to new processor infrastructure groups all the way up to
Compatible with
170
Air4
watts
socket cooler.
TDP.
Itu yang
Take
paling win.
advantage of the
Itu
performance
win.
per watt efficiency
Soket tak
of
perlu tukar
leading-edge
cooler.
process technology nodes,
Belum stick.
unlocking even more all-core performance. It incorporates next-generation I/O capabilities, including dual-channel DDR5 memory and the capability to drive the most PCI Gen 5 lanes from the processor socket in the industry. And last but not least, over the past several years,
Itu pada aku
we've
paling.
developed a robust cooler ecosystem for AM4 platforms, supporting a wide range of passive, air, and liquid coolers in all shapes and sizes and
Betul.
price range.
Betul. Yes.
And I'm happy to say that as we make this transition, our new AM5 socket will be compatible with existing AM4 coolers.
Yeah!
When
Thank
you
you,
look
thank
at
you, thank you.
AM5's I/O capabilities, we've made
Ipan
many
nak tua boleh stay.
enhancements, like
Cooler nak tua boleh
enabling
stay.
24 PCI lanes capable of Gen
Oh,
5
okay.
speed connected directly to the
Okay, ni soket M5 total platform I/O advanced connectivity 24 PCIe 5 clean full storage and graphic. Oof.
socket to power the fastest storage and graphics solutions in the
Oof.
industry.
Agak-agak
We
channel.
now support up to 14 super speed USB ports, including support for 20 gigabit per
So
second
loh,
speed
orang yang pakai
and
USB banyak macam aku ni.
Type-C connectors.
Penting benda-benda macam ni.
We know that connectivity is critical to the enthusiast motherboard user.
Lampu,
And AM5
kat
includes
webcam,
support for
mai apa
Wi-Fi
semua
6E,
sekarang aku
for
USB.
blazing fast wireless connectivity, as well as
Okay,
4
Wi-Fi,
independent
okay.
display outputs connected.
Okay. Untuk penduduk Malaysia, kau pakai Wi-Fi 6E tak bermakna selagi internet kat Malaysia ni tak laju. Aku itu tempat tak ada Unify ataupun time. Tak function aku beli. Benda-benda ada Wi-Fi 6E. Aduh, stres aku. Dan berapa ramai orang lagi tak ada internet. Abang, saya nak Cat 6, Cat 7, Cat 8. Bang, internet kita paling laju pasal 1 Gbps. Why? Aduh.
To the integrated RDNA2 graphics engine. In addition to all of that I/O directly connected to the socket, the new 600 series chipsets bring a host of expansion options to the platform to meet the needs of even the most demanding users.
Aku hari tu, pada aku AMD silap lah. Dia orang silap. Dia orang patut namakan grafik card dia orang yang baru, yang buff tu. 69 XT. Wah, betul. Ini 6950 aduh Numa. Miss
Now, beyond
opportunity
the
pasal ni
core
pada tak boleh buat lagi.
platform
Pasal ni 7000
Socket
siri grafik card,
AM5
7000 siri
ecosystem also features
processor
an
mana boleh buat.
all-new
Tak boleh buat
SDI
nombor je
3
tu.
power infrastructure.
Rugi lah orang terlepas peluang.
This brings multiple advantages to the platform, such as support for additional power phases, for that higher power delivery into the motherboard, fine-grained power control, and significantly faster voltage response capabilities. Our AM5 motherboard family will feature 3 levels of boards with different features targeting different segments of the desktop market. At the very top of the stack, we have our X6.
Okay, aku sian A520 pun orang tak nak. Orang biasa ambil 550 terus. So aku faham lah kenapa AMD buat paling rendah sekarang B650 kan. A520 tu pun nak jalan pun susah.
670 Extreme motherboards.
Pasal 550 tambah sikit dah dapat 550. Where beli 550? Orang kata so majority orang akan pakai kot B650 ni. Tapi tak tahulah kalau dah lama-lama nanti dia akan keluar balik A punya
Deliver the
chipset.
best of the best across all aspects of what the most demanding enthusiasts crave. PCI 5, dual channel DDR5 memory with the most extreme
Wi-Fi tu tak payah lah Wi-Fi
and the most
7.
power phases to
Bagi
push
orang
the
dalam
limits
dunia ni
of
semua 1
performance and
Gbps
overclock.
dulu.
Next, the X670 AM5 platform delivers the goods for the bulk of Ryzen enthusiasts and their gaming builds. PCI 5 to at least one of the M.2 slots, as well as the primary graphics slot on many boards, as well as very strong memory overclocking and CPU power deliveries on the board. And finally,
Okay, Intel memang tak benefit kau overclock memori RAM kau pasal dia 3200 je paling beneficial untuk Intel pergi. Tapi Zen punya processor dia dengan RAM speed memang macam kahwin orang kata kalau dapat speed laju-laju dia orang ni.
our B650 boards offer the perfect balance of price point and capability.
Tapi paling best 3600 lah. Pasal tak silap aku kalau speed RAM kau 3600 kau punya processor processor punya latency dengan kau punya RAM latency tu ngam lah orang kata. So memang padan lah orang kata. Macam aku lah pakai 3600 Trident Neo. So yeah.
These boards are designed for performance users who want all the features the AM5 ecosystem has to offer, but may not demand all of the headroom and overclocking support the X series boards make available. These boards will all feature PCI 5 to an M.2 storage socket so that users can take advantage of the benefits.
At least kau dapat satu lah PCIe Gen 5 untuk SSD kau.
Now in 2019, AMD was the first to introduce PCI 4 to our desktop platform.
Tak ada tak yakin kot.
PCI
Diorang
5,
test sampai
which doubles the
64 yang cakap.
throughput
Tapi
once again, offering
asalnya
a
diorang letak.
theoretical
Dia tak tahu
maximum
maksimum berapa banyak dia
speed
boleh letak kan.
of 32 gigatransfers
So 16 lah
per
paling
second
tinggi.
per lane
Aku
to
rasa
a range
still
of
16.
devices on the motherboard.
Dulu Threadripper 8 core je. Sekarang Ryzen 7 kalau tak kerana AMD i7 tu still 4 core kata tak. AMD punca paksa Ryzen 7 dengan i7 tu 8 core. Kalau tak dia orang tak buat. Kalau tak dia orang nak jual dia orang punya apa Threadripper sebut-sebut apa prosesor mahal yang orang kata yang eksklusif ni dengan 16 core. AMD buatkan 16 core tu untuk orang awam je.
With Phison, as well as storage device manufacturers like Crucial and Micron to
Corsair,
bring this incredible performance uplift
PNY,
to the AM5 platform. Now, speaking of performance, as we develop these next-gen storage solutions with our partners, we're seeing an incredible 60% increase in sequential read performance versus PCI Gen 4 drives. When you think about what gamers and enthusiasts want most, like faster game loads or recalling large models from storage, the PCI Gen 5
pada aku benda ni paling benefit yang kau boleh nampak orang yang buat macam game dekat Unreal Engine 5. Kau tahu Unreal Engine 5 dia punya apa resource daripada apa panggil asset nak tarik tu memang besar. So perlu lah pakai Gen 5 punya SSD apa semua benda.
And promises to deliver a fantastic experience. We expect to see the first devices from Crucial and Micron available in the consumer market timed with the introduction of the AM5 ecosystem, followed by new devices from other partners like Gigabyte, MSI, Corsair, and many more shortly thereafter. Our partners will introduce a range of new AM5 platforms covering the
Okay,
features.
antara semua aku kat cakap apa? Okay. Diorang namakan benda ni X670E. E untuk Extreme. Lepas tu ROG Gigabyte dengan MSI X670 Extreme Tai Chi. ROG Corsair X670 Extreme Extreme. Gigabyte X670E Aorus Extreme. Tapi E je hilang. Extreme. MSI MEG tu E ni Extreme. HD pun Extreme. So MSI Extreme.
Price points and capabilities to address the needs of many different enthusiast desktop
Tunggu.
customers. Boards from ASRock, Asus, BioStar, Gigabyte, and MSI will feature many of the
Aku cuma harap GPU AMD 7000 seri ni betul-betul best tu. Abang teringin nak tukar ke proses. Pasal masalah driver AMD punya GPU ni mesti lah.
capabilities that you heard about today. I'm so excited about what we're bringing to market with AM5 and the designs our partners are
Tapi aku
developing
pun jenis orang
around
tak main
this
game
next
baru
generation
kan.
solution. I can't wait for you to get your hands on the next era of Ryzen desktop computing. And with that, I'd like to hand the stage back to Lisa to show off a little bit of what this platform is capable of.
Thanks, David, for highlighting some of the big advances AM5 will bring to desktop PCs. Now, one of my favorite things to do is show off our new tech, so I'm so excited to be able to do that now with Ryzen 7000. Let's start first with gaming. What you're seeing now is gameplay footage
Ni
from
ganjing
the
tu.
recently
Dia
released
sumpah ganjing.
Ghostwire Tokyo from Tango Gameworks and Bethesda Studios, running on a pre-production version of our 16-core Ryzen 7000 processor. This
Dia
first
pakai
person
MSI
action
Dia
adventure
pakai
game
MSI
has
tu
rich
benar.
visuals that help recreate an alternate version of Tokyo. If you look at the current frequency of the CPU
Dia tak tunjuk benda
recorded
lain.
in the
Dia
top
just
left corner, you can see that those Zen 4 cores are running around 5.5 gigahertz with slight variations during gameplay.
5.5.
We designed Zen 4 to run significantly faster than our previous generation.
Okay, aku pakai motherboard MSI sekarang. Aku pakai motherboard X570 Wi-Fi Edge. Edge Wi-Fi ke Wi-Fi Edge aku tak ingat. Kalau time tu ada motherboard ROG X570, time aku beli, aku probably ambil ROG. Asus, MSI, Acer tiga-tiga ni Taiwan. Tapi harga ROG ni mahal sikit. Tapi function motherboard tu ada macam contohlah Z690 kan ada function tekan dekat tepi tu untuk keluarkan GPU. Kau tak perlu lagi kau masuk tangan, masuk skru. Aduh, baru nak tarik grafik card. Aduh, stress aku kadang-kadang kalau nak buat kerja situ. So, kalau ada button tepi macam tu pada aku function dia best orang kata. Motherboard EVGA best, tapi EVGA kat Malaysia orang faham je lah. Orang kata harga buah pinggang juga. EVGA punya motherboard AMD orang kata. So, pada aku motherboard, tapi yang macam cakap, so far untuk AMD motherboard, as long as motherboard kau ada a good chipset, performance processor kau tidak akan lari sangat. Dia bukan macam Intel. So kau boleh je beli MSI punya B550 biasa ke apa semua benda yang biasa-biasa ni pun actually kau dah dapat dah benefit processor tu. Kata better spend money kau on a good cooler, on a good casing and a good graphic card, good RAM tu lagi baik daripada spend untuk mobile. Tetapi kalau kau plan build untuk ada headroom untuk masa depan dan ada features yang kau mungkin tak tahu kau akan pakai, adalah better kau research motherboard kau fikir okay, apa yang aku nak dekat mobile ni, apa yang aku nak kasi kalau aku gini. So then mungkin kau spend juga. Orang kata kebanyakan orang kat Malaysia ni kalau kau beli VGA, diorang bukan retailers, diorang resellers, diorang jual balik. So barang kau tu nanti kena pergi lah US, kena pergi Europe semua benda. Jangan kata ROG, Asus in general memang bagus lah dalam bab quarantine ni. Dulu kalau kau ingat, GPU Asus ada one-to-one. Dulu lah sebelum pre-pandemic.
And that increase in frequency can
Aku kalau aku ada duit, memang aku ambil aku memang teringin nak buat all ROG build. Mana tahu one day ROG sponsor stream ni. Boleh lah buat apa? All ROG build.
To a smoother gaming experience. And while this is just one example, we're really excited for gamers to get their hands on our Ryzen 7000 series.
Hey.
But we know our fans use Ryzen for more than just gaming.
Betul.
From the beginning,
Streaming.
Ryzen has set the standard for high-performance
Editing.
content creation, delivering performance that was previously only
Rendering.
available in a workstation class
Multitasking.
processor. Ryzen 7000
16
will
Discord.
extend that even further. Now let me show you a Ryzen 7000 processor running the
Oof.
popular Blender
Ini
3D
langsi.
modeling software.
Ini Dr. Lisa Su
On the
langsi.
right is the Ryzen 7000 system, and the left is a competitor system.
Tapi aku okay, kenapa dia tak pakai i9 12 900KS? Aku rasa dia tak dapat stock.
Both CPUs are 16 cores and rendering a custom image of our next
I mean,
gen
ROG
Ryzen
supposed to
desktop
stream.
CPU.
InsyaAllah, one day.
Blender maxing out the core and thread count of those processors to complete the render as quickly as possible. As you can see, the Ryzen 7000 system completes the process 31% faster, which means creators spend less time waiting and much more time creating. So hopefully you can see why we're so excited about our next generation Ryzen 7000 CPUs and AM5 platforms. You'll hear a lot more over the coming months, and you should expect Ryzen 7000 processors will be available starting this fall. It's been fantastic spending some time.
Intel ni macam penyokong-penyokong McGregor. Dulu time McGregor power memang kita semua okay, akui lah Mamat ni power. Tapi the moment dia dah kat atas, dia ya Allah, dia nak naikkan gap generation. Kau bayangkan dalam tempoh 5-6 tahun AMD Ryzen ni orang kata bersaing dengan Intel, barulah generation leap antara dulu kau tahu 5 tahun punya processor, 6 tahun punya processor, performance leap dia tak jauh. Tapi sekarang ni pasal persaingan AMD paksa benda ni naik, diorang pun naik juga. Kalau tak, diorang tak boleh. Kalau tak, diorang kalah.
With everyone today, let me close with a recap of the news. New ultra
Dia kena support AMD. Pasal AMD ada kilang kat Malaysia. Tak ada.
thin and gaming notebooks powered by Ryzen 6000 series and AMD Advantage with leadership performance and battery life are available now. Mainstream notebooks based on AMD Mendocino will be available starting in Q4, and Ryzen 7000 and AM5 are coming this fall. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you in
Abang beli,
person
abang
again
memang
soon.
fokus untuk beli
Have a
PS5.
great Computex 2022.
Sebelah-sebelah kot. Saya tahu macam masa diorang release 5000 series. Aku rasa bulan sebelah, bulan 10 sebelah itu aku rasa confirm. Fall maksudnya bulan September 23 29 start fall. So yeah, tu based on note size. Ini disclaimer ni penting loh. Disclaimer ni dia takut kena saman orang kata. So benda-benda dia orang claim ni semua kalau kau baca apa semua benda kau akan tahu lah. Okay. So sekarang ni aku nak tengok satu benda. Aku nak tengok late liners. Pasal video ni keluar 1 minute lepas M4 apa? Tadi video tadi habis kan. So let's go. I'm tired of winning. Aduh iklan. Dia tak patut bagi iklan ni duit. Kalau aku jadi kerajaan Malaysia, aku haramkan iklan. Nak iklan yang pekak-pekak apa semua benda.
I got bad news, guys. AMD just announced their plans for socket AM5, and there's no other way to put this. It represents such a major shift from the incremental generational improvement paradigm that we've enjoyed so much since the first quad-core CPUs showed up in 2000.
Intel ada baru dekat Israel. Ya betul. Ya betul. So kalau orang kata Intel tu harga Yahudi, technically it was right. It was right.
Gamers are reaching the point where winning this hard for so long is becoming unbearable. We're back on an upgrade treadmill where a CPU from 5 years ago, even 2 or 3 years ago, is now at a major disadvantage. It's tough to keep up. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Dia yang boleh beli. Obviously I'm excited. Tapi orang yang tak boleh beli macam mana?
Zoho Desk. Over 50,000 businesses worldwide trust.
Okay, sorry.
Biggest news for last.
Abang akan skip iklan, sorry.
AMD always saves the biggest news for last, but we're gonna front load it. AMD's Ryzen 7000 and AM5 platform look very promising. Intel's 12th gen core did beat AMD to the punch with DDR5 and PCI Express Gen 5 support, but AMD is clapping back with more available PCIe lanes off the CPU and what appears to be a more mature DDR5 memory controller.
6,000. Orang nak pakai 4,800 je. Atau 5,200 ni 6,000.
Controller, that is, if the test notes are to be believed. Not content with only that, AMD has come after Intel in terms of core clocks too. In their demo at the end of the presentation, they showed off a pre-production 16-core Ryzen 7000 CPU blazing along at 5.5 gigahertz in Ghostwire Tokyo, which matches the Core i9-12900KS's maximum boost clock. That alone is a massive improvement over AMD's current flagship, the 5950X, which manages 4.9 gigahertz max boost.
I was
And
right.
remember, guys, this isn't a game. It's not even single-threaded. AMD could have called it a day at that point. But no, they're coming at Intel with core-level improvements too, like AI acceleration instructions, though exactly what they are and what they do isn't yet known. What is known is that thanks
Come on,
in
tak
part
tahu
to
AI
doubling
reaction
the
apa.
level 2 cache on each core to 1 megabyte, AMD is claiming a 15% or greater per-thread performance improvement in Cinebench R23. So if they can get multi-core clocks to stay high to match those single-core clocks, Intel may have to go completely back to the drawing board. Thankfully, AMD's new LGA-based socket, AM5, supports CPUs with TDPs of up to 170 watts. So along with the switch to what AMD hints is an optimized version of TSMC's N5P process node, that shouldn't be an unreasonable goal, especially with a good cooler. I mean, especially since there's coolers out there that are rated to handle Intel's 12900K, which is rated for 241 watts, and from our testing, regularly blows right past that figure.
Kau tengok i9. Okay. TDP. Ya. 5950 tu pun rendah lagi daripada.
Thanks to his extra power draw, the 12900K does manage to beat the 5950
Lower is better, betul. So 5950 tu still rapat dengan i9 apa K.
DX in our testing during short renders, like the kind that AMD showed on stage, but the best we've seen is a 15% lead the other way for AMD in a much longer test.
Longer test menang kan? Pasal ialah pure 16 core dengan 8 core kecil, 8 core besar. Tidak boleh
As
ditanding.
for AMD's Ryzen 7000 demo, they showed the 16-core Ryzen 7000 chip finishing 31% faster than the Core i9-12900K. This is big. That was in a short test too, right, Anthony? Whew! Interestingly, AMD didn't mention anything about 3D V-cache, their method for adding, well,
3D V-cache nanti.
three-dimensional vertical cache for Ryzen
Benda ni boleh
7000 to
tampal.
expand the level 3 cache already on the die. What that means is, much like with Ryzen 5000, we could see separate standard and 3D V-cache versions of these chips in the future, which could potentially improve performance even further.
Kau bayangkan akhirnya Flight Simulator tu capai 100 FPS Akhir je.
But also just all have it for all we know. Like they all have the new 6nm I/O die, complete with RDNA 2 integrated graphics. Integrated graphics were one of Intel's last major differentiators prior to their E-core P-core layout change, because previously this required you to give up some cache and PCI Express bandwidth on Ryzen APUs. Well, now all desktop Ryzen CPUs will have integrated graphics just like Intel. Can we get rid of the term APU now then? Great.
APU still
AMD
ada.
didn't comment on just how many compute units would be included, but they did say that AM5 motherboards could come with any combination of up to 4 HDMI 2.1 or DisplayPort 2.0 outputs, likely in the form of USB Type-C ports.
Intel tak tahu lah, diorang Flight Simulator always. Come on bro, Flight Simulator. Aku ada customer pilot nak main Flight Simulator, dia memang pakai simulator. Tapi yang lama, yang baru dia kata cakap, bro, Flight Simulator bro, come on.
AMD will support Enforce with up to 4
Okay, abang bukan nak cakap apa Tapi pilot tu tengok gayanya macam berbangsa India. Tapi bini dia Chinese. Tanya. Kan sekarang kat TikTok sibuk isu awak Cina. Ya Allah, itu pun jadi isu.
20 gigabit per second USB ports. By contrast, Intel's top-end Z690 chipset can only run 4 of those, with the rest of them being 10
Up to 4
or 5 gigabit per second. That chipset's integration of Wi-Fi 6E is also no longer an Intel exclusive advantage, since the new AM5 platform natively supports Wi-Fi 6E with Bluetooth LE 5.2, and all of these features are going to be available across all of the new chipsets. AMD's actually shaken things up a little bit, by the way, with respect to their chipsets. What we might have previously thought of as X670 is now X670 Extreme, and it extends PCI Express Gen 5 to every available slot on the motherboard for ridiculous overall system.
Okay, PCI Gen 5 everywhere. Kalau tak pakai tak payahlah beli. Tapi kalau pakai ya seronok lah semua benda.
Something that Intel Z690 doesn't do. Vanilla X670 meanwhile limits Gen 5 operation to just M.2 storage and the graphics slot, connecting those directly to the CPU like Intel does. Finally, there's B650, which defaults to PCI Express Gen 4 for all but the storage slot, which does get the Gen 5 treatment. There's no word on future A-series chipsets, but at least according to AMD's presentation, these are the only major differences between the chipsets that they did announce outside of power delivery, which is really more down to the motherboard manufacturers anyway. So if that's the case, then hey, thanks AMD! And even if it's
Oh, janganlah sekali harga motherboard AMD semua start 2000-an. X. Aduh.
not, I still have to thank AMD for the direction that they have forced the industry to
Betul.
go.
Yang ini kita patut puji. Yang ini kita patut puji. Oh. Sebab tu orang putih ada apa? Ada peribahasa dia orang apa? Air pasang naikkan semua kapal
2017. 5 short years was all it took to change a stagnant.
Tengok tu. Ryzen 7 punya Cinebench lagi power. Cinebench Ryzen 7 2700X dia potong i7 8 gen K.
Straight line performance improvement.
No.
Into a very prominent hockey stick. Core counts, instructions per clock.
Oh.
Cache, PCI Express bandwidth, DDR memory bandwidth. It has all skyrocketed in the last 5 years. And I have no reason to believe that Intel would have been pushed to participate so quickly if they had been left unchallenged. It's at a point now where those AMD and Intel CPUs and platforms from 5 years ago are really showing their age. Something that actually wasn't true of 3rd gen core even as recently as 2020.
Tapi yes, abang faham. Memanglah PC, grafik, apa semua. Teknologi ni kadang dia lompat sikit, kadang dia lompat banyak kan. Tapi janganlah developer game ni apa semua benda literally macam mengharapkan orang apa? Orang kata mengharapkan kau punya apa? PC tu literally macam T20 punya PC untuk main game kau kan. COD aku tengok kau kan. Dulu kau yang buat start orang kata nak main game kau ni. Aduh.
When it was 5 generations
Alah Valor yang famous pasal grafik requirement rendah.
into its life cycle. You don't need to worry about that with your water bottle from ltstore.com though. That will never be
Aku nak beli tu One Hoodie ni. Tapi tunggu masa je.
obsolete. Now if you thought that was
Tak,
all,
aku tak ada. Hari tu dah nak beli tapi saya tak ada.
you haven't been paying attention to mobile either, because AMD has some exciting stuff in the pipeline there too. First up is their Mendocino APU, an up-to-quad
Mendocino.
core Zen 2 chip with integrated RDNA 2
RDNA 2 GPU 4 core 8 thread dan 2.
graphics that AMD is targeting the $399 to $699 price point with, and hopes to see greater than 10 hours of mixed usage battery life from. I mean, gaming Chromebooks anyone? This should seriously
Asal ada lambang Stadia tadi.
improve battery life at the lower end of the scale. I mean, remember,
Well,
Zen 2 cores may not be the latest and the greatest, but they're not that much slower than Zen 3. And paired with RDNA 2 for GPU accelerated video decoding, they should handle most everyday tasks with ease. A lot of new laptop designs were announced too, including a 17mm thick Lenovo with a 100 watt-hour battery capable of 100 FPS gaming, an Alienware with a 4K 120Hz display, another more different Lenovo with force-sensitive WASD keys for precise movements, and Corsair's first ever in-house laptop complete with what they call a streaming-grade webcam and an integrated 10
Kau bayangkan letak Full HD pun boleh highlight.
key Stream Deck. No word on whether this laptop also supports other streamer-friendly features like HDMI input, but get subscribed so you don't miss our upcoming coverage of it. How could we pass through on something
So, how to buy item for US? Oh ya lah, beli daripada local store.
like that?
Support local
AMD
business.
says that
Cash is king.
the AM5 platform will release this fall with Mendocino APU.
A great chef tak tengok buku masak. A great chef dia tengok buku tu and then dia ubah resipi tu. Jadilah macam Jamie Oliver.
Is coming in Q4. Oh, right. APUs are apparently still here. Most of the stuff we've already seen, although they did elaborate on their support for direct storage, hinting that their implementation will be more than simply adding GPU accelerated decompression. So that's
Abang botak.
another thing we'll have to wait and see about. With the industry in such an upward trajectory, remember, PCI Express Gen 4 was only around on the desktop for like
Tu berapa tahun je?
2 years before being replaced. It really feels like the good old days, doesn't it? When you could go and buy a computer.
Harga inflation. Inflation ringgit jatuh. US dollar. Harga semiconductor barang-barang mentah. Perang Rusia Ukraine.
Knowing that it was going to be obsolete.
Yes lah, dari segi spek je lah tinggi tapi reality je.
In just a few short years, which sounds bad from an investment standpoint, but what it means for the PC industry is more performance, better graphics, faster video editing, and honestly, it's getting to the point where it's been so long with this new hockey stick shift, I'm starting to feel like it's just the beginning. The beginning of the time to talk about our sponsor. Micro Center is the place to shop for
Oh, kalau aku kaya, aku jutawan, aku buka kedai style Micro Center.
desktops, laptops,
Gabungkan semua ke sini, dah tak ada lagi retail macam style. Semua benda satu tempat.
components, monitors, TVs, network
Kill
equipment,
semua
and whatever
competition
other
aku.
tech itch you might have on yourself. They offer competitive pricing and they have 25 locations around the US. New customers can get $50 off AMD's Ryzen 5 5600X or Ryzen 7 5800X CPUs. The offer is in-store only coupon with their 20 2-day CPU bundles available for you as well. Go check out this older video now from when AMD first revealed the Ryzen 5000 series that definitively snatched the gaming crown from Intel for the first time. Well, for the first time since the early 2000s anyway. And really kicked off this battle of the giants.
Yeah. So, kalau korang nak tengok aku recommended video yang masa 5000 series keluar tu memang excited gila. Yang menyebabkan aku pun beralih ke AMD secara official je. Kata, guys, Micro Center mantap. Micro Center. Itu semua ni. Okay guys. Oh, dapat daily. Teo, thank you dah for orang kata dekat 1.5 jam ni korang bersama aku. Thank you. Aku pun dah nak masuk balik Final Fantasy ni, nak train Savage kalau ada ruang. So kembali je ke webcam. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Aku personally memang memang minat format macam ni. Korang tahu aku memang minat bercakap, memang minat orang kata kalau benda tu memang aku ada passion, memang aku boleh non-stop buat benda macam ni kan. And then probably kita akan buat benda-benda macam ni lagi. Kalau ada topik yang manfaat, ada topik yang kita boleh share, ada ilmu yang kita boleh share apa semua benda. So aku memang fun lah, enjoy buat benda macam ni orang kata kan. Kalau ada benda yang orang kata tak semestinya aku nak jadi React Andy orang kata kan. Tapi Adam Talk ni memang macam ni lah. Okay, hopefully one day kita boleh ada tetamu dan sebagainya orang kata. Kalau orang berminat nak nak orang kata apa, join benda-benda sini kan, movie review ke apa benda, kita officially ini episod khas lah, AMD, pure AMD punya ni. Dan tu aku tak letak Adam Talk episod 4 ke apa, sebelum ni episod 3 tu lah. So kau boleh tengok, kau boleh pergi ke YouTube channel aku untuk kalau kau nak tengok apa, Adam Talk yang sebelum ni orang kata. So pasal kita bercerita pasal Doctor Strange, kita cerita pasal MGEX, Strike Freedom dan sebagainya. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the like, thank you for the follow, thank you for the share, thank you yang mendengar, yang menyinggah orang kata selama 1 jam 20 minit ni. Yeah, excited. Kalau kau ada apa-apa pertanyaan, kau macam biasa kau tanya dia dekat apa, dekat chat tu, tak ada salah orang kata. Okay guys, insyaAllah kita berjumpa lagi. Yes, follow aku punya Facebook ke Twitter ke, ada Mixi20A. Orang kata kau boleh tengok banner aku yang dekat ni, kau boleh tahu lah. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye, good night. Dah pukul 10, awak lagi 10 minit ke 12 upload balik ke YouTube. Lepas ni aku upload, hopefully tak ada kena copyright ke apa benda jejadah. So kata orang YouTube kadang lagu tak beraya tu pun kena copyright. This video lama. Ya betul. Bye, see you soon. Bye bye. Peace. Choo.